Alright, man, we back. Mercy Sports Talk. Let's get one last video in. Let's make it a lengthy one, man. But I do appreciate everybody for tapping in. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, the like, comment button, share the video. Let's talk about positions the Detroit Lions really don't need in this draft. I think there's quite a few. To start off at, and I really think tight end really tops the list. You talk about the GMs that took tight ends and it didn't really succeed. You start off with Matt, was it? It was Mayhew with the Brandon Pettigrew pick. Sometimes history, you gotta learn a lesson from history, man, and just think about, how important the tight end is not. Unless you're going to make it the vocal point. Unless you're gonna make it the vocal point of your offense, it's just really not that important. Just look at some of the guys that went after him. I haven't even looked at it. So Brandon Pettigrew went 20th. Let's talk about some guys that went after him. Alex Mack, who's still in the league, went after him. Percy Harvin went after him. Michael Orr went after him. He had the little movie. Vontae Davis went after him. Clay Matthews went after him. Hakeem Hicks went after him. Kenny Britt went after him. Benny Wells went after him. Just talk about some guys that went in the second round. Lewis Delmas proved to be a better player than Brandon Pettigrew. Patrick Chung, who just retired. Think about this was the 09 draft, so most of these guys got 10 years in. Raymond Alaga, he was a solid player in the league. Jerry's Bird was pretty good till he left and went to New Orleans, I believe it was. Connor Barwin, he is actually from funny thing is he's from the area, man. I called a couple years ago. I called his high school coach, and I didn't know it. We just had a random conversation, about it. But he was just, nice guy. All right, he was with the UAD Jesuit. I know a few people that ended up going to that school, but Max Unger, LaShawn McCoy. Oh man, Jesus, man. Robert Quinn, that was a tight end. Richard Quinn. He just looking the third round. Man, overall, Mike Wallace went in that draft. I think he just recently got out the league. Jared Cook went in that draft, the tight end. This draft has some fucking talent. I'm just looking for. This TJ Lang went in that draft to Green Bay in the 4th round. Sheesh Louise. Remember that year they took Sammy Lee Hill. He was out of like some little small college. Stillman. Man. There was a little bit of talent in this draft. Especially in the first 4 rounds. But I don't really think tight end is that. And if you draft, what's old boy name, Kyle Pitts, it got to be exclusively as a receiver. Especially if you one of those guys who want an immediate impact guy. So really tight end, it's really one of those positions that, to me, it's not that important. As long as they can block and catch a little bit, in this offense. Just historically with Matthew Stafford, before him, they haven't really abused the tight end position, like they were supposed to abuse the position. But, let's move on, man. Running back position. I would love for them to get Najee Harris, but honestly, is there enough touches for Najee Harris in this offense? I don't really think so. They signed Jamal Williams, even though he not making a lot of money. You got DeAndre Swift, but really, I thought Najee Harris was one of those dudes, that they need a physical back, catch it out the backfield, could run. But for running back position, still got Kerryon Johnson. You still got Williams. You still got DeAndre Swift. For the running back position, it's really, really position they don't need. But historically, talking about running backs drafted by the Detroit Lions, historically, that doesn't really tell the story, Give me a minute. So that doesn't tell the story. Just historically since James Stewart, even though he had one great year, it really didn't matter. You just talk about the running backs that came here, man, throughout history. Let's see if we can kind of pull that out. Just going since 2000. Reuben Drones. He was out of Oregon. We don't have no luck with draft people from Oregon. In his career, Reuben Drones had over 3,600 yards. Through his career, almost 1,000 receiving. Okay. Luke Staley from BYU back in 2002. Artenis Piner, he didn't do much in the league. 250 touches, 858 yards. Man, just Kevin Jones. He ran over Ray Lewis. He less than Reuben Drones, 3,100 yards. He just physically couldn't. He physically just couldn't stay healthy. Just keep going. Brian Calhoun out of Wisconsin. He had 54 yards throughout his career. He didn't do much. So Kevin Smith. He had less than 3,000 yards, 2,346 yards. Jeez Louise, you had Aaron Brown. He had less than 200 yards rushing throughout his career. Jeez. Jabba Best, he had less than 1,000 yards throughout his career rushing. If that, yeah, yep. No, he didn't. No, this might not be accurate. 954 yards. I don't know how accurate this is. I thought he had more. Let me double check this. Give me a minute. Let's double check this. Yeah, total it says that he only got 945 yards rushing. Crazy. That's wild. I thought he for sure had more than that. You feel me? That's crazy, bro. Boop, boop, boop. Then you have Mikhail Shore. He had 807 yards. He got injured early in his career. Didn't do much after that. Theo Riddick. He had 1,037 yards. Had over 2,000 yards receiving. Jesus, we can pick him, can't we? Amir Abdullah. He had 1,408 yards and 576 yards catching. Nick Baldwin, he was more of a fullback. Kerryon Johnson, he got 1,225 yards. Todd Johnson, he didn't do much, 527 yards rushing. DeAndre Swift, 521 yards rushing. So that was a little lengthier than I thought it was going to be. But, I think you draft I think you should draft a running back, but I think they got solid running backs. They probably don't need to go there, but historically, we probably do need to draft a running back. But keep going. Right tackle, left guard, center, and right guard. I really think for those positions you don't need. I think right tackle is the key. Slide Big V over to left guard, where Stenberger ready to jump in. But to be honest, from right guard all the way to left, you don't need. Right tackle is a position that you need, and then you continue to look on the defensive side. Cornerbacks, you really don't need cornerbacks. You really don't. So cornerbacks is just a position that you really don't need. So to be honest, if you can get the value there, then go ahead for the draft. But historically, you don't really need a cornerback right now. You know what I'm saying? You got Okuda, you got Aurarie, Cornelder, you got Quentin Dunbar, Brett Mark Ford there. So right now, that's looking like the strength for the defense, and that's a good thing to have when you got those long corners doing on the outside. But also you continue going. Really pass rusher, edge rusher. They got a lot of edge rushers. I know you can't have too many edge rushers. You got Julian, you got Romeo, you got Trey Flowers, you got Jamie Couch who put his hand in the dirt. You got the Harris kid. You got a lot of pass edge rushers. That they didn't got in some that I can't remember, but Romeo, Julian, Trey Flowers, Charles Harris, Austin Bryan. I mean, you got 1,000 pass rushers, but you never can have too many. So to me personally, that's probably a position. You talking about the positions that they really don't need. That's probably one of those positions that they can afford to kind of wait. But if it's value there, Asante Samuel Jr. is his value. He later on, if his value there, then I just feel you gotta take it there, and that's go for all positions. If it's value at the guards and tackle position, take it. If it's guards at the running back position, if it's value at the running back position, take it. If it's value at the tight end position, take it after the first round. So that's just my humble opinion on that. Let me know what you guys think about the video. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsor, video requests. All our social media subscription. Fast way reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313 in the description. PayPal link there as well too. One more position. I think kicker might be something they want. They got the dude from Cincinnati. Was it Mike Newt? Whatever it is. According to Cincinnati fans, he's terrible. So kicker may not be a position that we need to fill and kind of draft somebody, get them ready to come up and replace old boy. But I appreciate the love support. One time, peace.